Hi y'all, today I'm showing you how to make my grandma's southern red velvet cake. It's my favorite, and I'm making it as a sheet pan today so I can cut it up and freeze it, and that way I can pull out a piece anytime I want some red velvet cake. My favorite of all time. Equipment and ingredients you'll need: a 9x13 baking pan, 2 spatulas, a large bowl and a mesh strainer, a liquid measuring cup, a 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup, and 1 cup measuring cups, measuring spoons, a stand mixer, baking spray with flour, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 1/2 sticks of butter, 1 tablespoon of vanilla paste, 3 eggs, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, a 1/4 cup of Dutch processed cocoa, 2 3/4 cups of white lily all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 cups of buttermilk, 2 cups of sugar, 3 cups of powdered sugar, an 8-ounce pack of cream cheese, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You'll need to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. First up, I am adding 1 1/2 cups of buttermilk to the liquid measuring cup with 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. And this is really the thing that gives you rise to your cake. But this is also very important because red velvet cake, how they used to do it, was this way. The chemical reaction between the buttermilk and the white vinegar caused it to turn red. Now people just use red dye, but we do the old school. So that's what we're doing today. Now I am going to be adding 2 3/4 cups of white lily all-purpose flour. You can use cake flour if you want. I wouldn't use a regular all-purpose flour. White lily is the one I would use if you're going to use anything other than cake flour. We're adding 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt. We're going to mix really well. I made a mistake. I should have added the cocoa at this time, but I got distracted. My mom needed me. And you mix well before you sift. But I should, like I said, have added the cocoa at this time and sifted everything together, but I did not. So you're just going to sift it together really well. It takes a moment. And now I'm just doing a 1/4 cup of cocoa, sifted into it. And you're going to really need to stir it up because you want the cocoa to really be incorporated, because you need the cocoa to be incorporated for the chemical reaction to happen, for it to turn red. I will mix it up a few more times, but you don't see that on camera. I'm adding 1 1/2 sticks of softened butter to the stand mixer, and I'm going to cream the butter and sugar together. Adding the sugar, obviously. And you mix till fluffy. Just cracking the eggs. I always like to do that because I'm always afraid I'm going to have a shell in there. And I'm just going to add them in one at a time, scrape it down, and then add. And it's gotten nice and fluffy. And then just one at a time. It's elastic, the eggs go in. And now I'm gonna scrape it down one more time, and I'm gonna move on to adding the ingredients, the dry ingredients, alternating the dry with the wet. And it's the rule of thirds. A third of flour mixture, a third of liquid. And as you can see, I really mixed up the cocoa and the flour really well. Although you didn't see that on camera. I went several times, I went back and tried to make sure it was fully incorporated. And you just keep adding it in a third at a time until it's all gone, and then it's all mixed. And that's the last of the flour. And it's done. And I'm just spraying the pan with Pam. Now, we used a chemical reaction, and we used Dutch processed cocoa to have that happen, along with buttermilk and baking soda and, of course, vinegar. We don't use red dye. This is the old-fashioned way. This is originally how it was done. So if you want to do it this way, you're going to have to get the Dutch processed cocoa. I'm tapping the pan to get the air bubbles out. And I'm going to bake it in the oven, preheated 325 for 40 to 45 minutes. And now I'm just making the frosting. I'm adding a stick of softened butter, and I'm adding the softened cream cheese. And I'm also going to add a tablespoon of vanilla paste and 2 cups of powdered sugar. This really does make an incredible frosting. Really, it's delicious. And just a reminder, you want to make sure everything is room temperature as far as the butter and the cream cheese, because you'll never get it smooth if it's not softened. I made a rookie mistake here. I was distracted by the cat because he kept trying to get up, and I kept having to chase him off. He was driving me crazy today. He was wanting all my attention. And so I turned on the mixer fast as opposed to slow. I was like, oh, I can't believe I did that. You're going to see it all sprayed in a second. It was horrible. As you can see, the powdered sugar sprayed everywhere. But, you know, these things happen. You know, I've been cooking and baking for a very long time. And so it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how old you are, how long you've been doing it. Sometimes you make mistakes. Things that you know better. You still do it. Things happen. But it's okay. It worked out. Frosting is fantastic. The cake is fantastic. I can guarantee you. I've already sliced it up into sections and wrapped it in saran wrap and put it in the freezer, and so I can have it later on. It's just nice to be able to pull out a dessert when you want something and you don't have to make it. And this is what the cake looks like. It's incredibly moist, by the way. It's so moist. And I took a little bit of the cake from the side just to be able to have a little decoration to crumble the cake on top, little crumbles. Some of you may notice that I'm not using as much frosting as I used for my mom's cake. That's because my mom likes a lot of frosting. I like frosting, but I don't need that much frosting, so I didn't make that much for my cake. And like I mentioned, I've already put it in the freezer. I've already sectioned it out and frozen it, so I can just pull it out whenever I want a slice of red velvet cake. It's very nice. That's why I like sheet pans better, because you can freeze it, you can bring it to work, you can give it to your kid to go to school. I mean, it's very convenient. I mean, of course, the 2 layers are very pretty and dramatic, but this is much more practical. I seem to be doing a lot of flourishes. And then I'm just going to add the crumbles of the cake on top, just to show people what it is. It's just a nice touch. And this is what it looks like. It's absolutely delicious. I'm telling you, if you make it, you'll become addicted. To help our channel grow, we're asking everyone to please like, subscribe, and comment. Because of how the YouTube algorithm works, these things are necessary for us to get referred to other people so we can grow. Thank you. I post videos every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays on a variety of topics: skincare, fashion, interior design, baking, cooking, and gardening. Thank you all for watching. We're so very grateful you took the time to stop on by and watch one of our little videos. And I want to give a special shout out to all of our new subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting our channel and helping us grow. We're so grateful. Have a blessed day. Thank you.